This video is brought to you by Scalloped. In this video, we'll be showing you how to install this umbrella acrylic braid soft binding. This binding is very soft and it's great for scalloped edges or any kind of edge that takes a little bit of a sharp curve. You can install this binding by hand, or you can use the Scalloped right angle binder and install it that way as well for a little bit faster installation. We're going to be showing you how to install it with the right angle binder in this video. Here's Deb Randall explaining a little bit about this umbrella acrylic braid soft binding.
You'll notice that it's real narrow, and what I've done is pulled and stretched it, and all you do is just pull to the sides. You want to pull quite a bit out because as soon as you taut that, it's going to go narrow again. So you want to pull out. You can pull out as much as you're going to use, or you can just pull out a few feet at a time, but you definitely want to pull it apart. And then the machine will do all the rest of the feeding.
We've pulled a lot of the binding off the roll so that it lays nicely on the table so that when it's pulled through the feeder, it isn't pulled hard. Deb's now going to explain how she feeds this acrylic soft binding into the right angle binder. There are feeder fingers at the end of the binder. She's going to show you how she likes to do it.
Binding we're using, this rubber thing kind of catches it, so if you just put it through the one. Okay, and we're kind of acting like we're the back of the foot, and you want to pull straight out from your foot beside it. And remember, behind the needle you're not going to sew your hand. So you're just kind of pulling right along with the foot walking. Acting like a puller to the back. You don't want to pull real hard, you just kind of want to pull along with the machine as it's sewing. And at the same time you're turning with your front hand going around the curves. You almost want to kind of pull behind the foot.
This umbrella acrylic braid soft binding is so soft that it doesn't really fold right down the center, so you have to be careful about how you feed it into the right angle binder since it wants to wander in the binder. The way that Deb is feeding it through the right angle binder and using the Scalloped UltraFeed LSZ machine, she's able to sew on the binding on the scallop rather quickly. This umbrella acrylic braid soft binding is best for scallops. However, the Surelast binding and the Stamoid binding also works well for curves. Deb's going to explain a little bit more about how she feeds the fabric into the right angle binder.
You don't want to force your fabric any further than where the cutout is there. You don't ever want to force it in. It'll push it in, it'll pull it off. Just holding the fabric taut in front of the foot. And pulling straight back from the behind.
If while sewing the binding on you notice it isn't being folded well onto the edge, you can always lift your foot and reposition the binding by moving the fabric around and then lowering your foot and continue sewing. We like to sew the soft acrylic braid binding with a zigzag stitch. That ensures that we're going to catch the fabric and also the binding.
This is our corner here. Okay. Because we have a semi-flat felled.
Yep.
That we're going over right there.
Okay, cool.
This scallop edge is so long we ran out of bobbin. Deb's filled a bobbin. Now she'll explain what to do with the binding.
Pull this out. Start back a little bit more you were. Needle. Put the stitches back. You can't go way back because you'll be cramming into the folder. Only a couple is all you need. Okay. then since we pulled this back, it's tightened back up again, so we want to stretch it back apart a little bit. Now this looks like a tedious job, but you really want to make sure that you do this because it does so much better covering. And then you're ready to go again.
And here we get to a 90-degree turn. Let's show you what she does.
Walk your foot, and you're wanting to cover the same amount, so you want to kind of gauge where that amount's at, okay? Now where I'm at here, I want to go about a half a stitch behind. So we're going to do this here. Plant your needle, lift up your foot, turn the fabric. Feed it right into your binding. Put your foot down. I'm going to take one stitch back. And start here forward.
Along the side of the awning against the building, it's a straightaway cut. So she's just going to use the binding and go straight up the side.
You want to make sure you're going straight behind your foot, feeding straight into your feeder without overfeeding or underfeeding.
Here we get to the end, where Deb will cut the binding and create a fold.
Okay, we took a few stitches there, and then we're going to take this completely out. We're going to take enough of the binding here. We're just going to take it up as close as we can. Okay, and you're going to need a little bit of a fold back. So you want to cut that. You have enough to turn under. Okay. So we actually have to take the holder off to get to this point. And you could actually put seam stick on the end of this if it gives you too much of a problem. And it'll help hold it in there too. But this is where it's going to be into the track, so you're not going to really see much of that. That's just a finished end.
She's sewing the binding all the way to the end of the awning rope. That's called Ketter awning rope. For all your upholstery, canvas, and sail making needs, order all your supplies from Sailrite. It's your loyal patronage to Sailrite that makes these free videos possible. Thanks for your support.